Hello and welcome. My name is Rachel Coletta, and in today's video, I am going to be talking to you guys about the answer to the question, does hell exist? And/or what is hell? So before I dive into this subject matter, I thought that this would be a really good time to share with you guys the three primary ways that I receive psychic information. It does come through for me in some other ways as well, but these are the three large primary channels through which I receive intuitive information. The first would be through downloads, receiving claircognizant downloads or knowings about concepts or instruction or other dimensional information. And another would be through creating a certain state through meditation where I'm able to dialogue with other dimensional beings and or my higher self. And the third would be through shamanic journeying. And shamanic journeying is a process whereby an aspect of yourself is able to exit the physical body or the third dimensional self and go on a journey or a travel to explore another dimension and actually take part in this journey. Almost sort of like taking part in a dream or taking part as an actor in a movie, but where oftentimes your sense of self still remains. You still stay tethered to your physical body and are able to return at the end of the journey with varying levels of memory about what transpired. So when I go on journeys, it's really important for me to take as many notes as I can immediately after I ground back in my physical body so that I can remember as much as possible. So if shamanic journeying, this is like a really kind of succinct explanation about it. If this is something that interests you guys and you would like more information about it, let me know in the comments below and maybe I could do a more in-depth video on shamanic journeying. But I wanted to share this with you because journeying was the process that I was guided to do where I came to this information that I'm going to share with you today. All right, so to get into the subject matter, does hell exist? So yes, but it is not a physical place. It is not even, really necessarily an other dimensional place or space where anybody is sent or anybody gets stuck or trapped. That is an actual physical space or a space that exists to send or quarantine or punish people or other beings who have lived in such a way that that is what they deserve. So in that reality or in that description, hell does not exist. But that said, hell also does exist, and it is a reality that we can slip into through our own self-imposition, either when we are alive or as we transition out. It can be a place that our soul spends time in before transitioning on, depending on our ability to transition to the light about our feelings about our worth as we are meant to move on. So I'm going to tell you some really specific information here about my journey and what I experienced to help you make a better sense of this concept. So as I went on this shamanic journey, a shamanic guide will lead you through your shamanic journeying and also act as a protector and a teacher for you as you journey through the different shamanic realms. There's a lower realm, a middle realm, and a higher realm. And so in this particular journey, I was brought down into the lower realms. And what I noticed as I was brought down was complete blackness, a feeling of emptiness, but not the emptiness that can be expansive, the vastness that opens us to who we are beyond just a human body. This was an emptiness, like a feeling of being cut off or isolated, that sort of a feeling of blackness and emptiness. And it was almost like this dark, damp cave. And as I walked through this cave, being led by my guide, I eventually came upon a being who was chained to the wall. And he was not in a good state, to put it simply. And I asked him, why are you here? And he responded, this is where they told me that I'm supposed to be. And I responded by inquiring, well, who told you that? Why do you believe that this is where you're supposed to be? Who did this to you? And his response was, I deserve to be here. I've hurt people. This is where people who hurt people are supposed to be. And me feeling kind of confused, I turned to my guide and said, but we've all hurt people. And she responded, he can leave whenever he chooses. As you can see, no one is keeping him here. This is a completely self-imposed state. This is his own belief about what he deserves. And I immediately received this knowing or understanding that this is what hell is. It is self-punishment. It's the shame, blame, guilt, regret, anger, hate, rage, resentment that we literally chain ourselves to. So all of these are human emotions, natural human emotions that are not meant to be suppressed or avoided, but they're meant to be fluid and move through us. And when they get stuck and we chain ourselves to them and we develop a belief about our self-worth and what we deserve based on those stagnant feelings, that is when we are in hell. We as humans are made up of multiple aspects of self. And part of our healing or aligning with our inherent wholeness, which is what healing is integrating and bringing in these aspects of self through love. So even if there is a part of us that feels a justification or righteousness in the ideas of, revenge or blame or anger, there are always going to be aspects of ourselves who are going to fear that part of us or judge that part of us or feel that that part of us deserves to be punished unless we, through our human consciousness, are able to show that aspect love and integrate it through compassionate witnessing and offering to meet that aspect of our needs. So this is why we can create hell for ourselves here on earth. There will be a part of us that will likely be judging these feelings. And through that judgment, make determinations about what our worth or what we deserve, and will feel that there is a part of us that deserves to be punished, the part of us that has these feelings or that holds these feelings. And when that belief exists, we will manifest that into our reality. And then it can become a self-fulfilling prophecy where the more we feel punished, the more we feel that we deserve it. And the power here is that this is nothing that anybody else is doing to us. Yes, maybe there's somebody outside of us who has these feelings that are triggered by us and feels this way towards us, but that is their own hell that they're creating. It is only our agreement with that perspective that imposes this isolation and this feeling of separation and darkness upon ourselves. And what I found particularly powerful is that as I continued on my walk through this dark cave, I wasn't meant to save or rescue this being or convince it of what it deserved or didn't deserve. That it was made very clear to me that it was up to this being to make that choice for itself. My guide showed me as I walked down through the cave further, this very dark black, large crystal, just jet black crystal that was sitting at the bottom of the cave. And she instructed me to pick it up. And as I picked it up and I looked at it, at the very center of the crystal, there was almost this glimmer, just this flicker of a light. The very, very center. It was very dim and I could barely see it. But the more I focused on it, the brighter it became and the brighter it became until there was almost just like an eggshell of darkness around it that As I continued to walk through the cave and I saw the light at the end, fell away, and I realized that I was holding this bright crystal light. And that was so powerful for me, and it was a message and understanding that everything is light, even in the darkness, even in the emptiness, even in the isolation, there is always light. And all it takes is a slight amount of focus, a slight amount of recognition even on that light for the darkness around to crumble and fall. And I also want to note that I've had many shamanic journeys where the darkness has been so beautiful, where there's been dynamic energy and ecstasy and beauty and calm and peace in the dark, but that this was a different kind of darkness. So hopefully that makes sense, that there is a distinction there, and I don't want to leave anybody with the impression that the darkness is synonymous with isolation. It can be, or it cannot be. It depends on the value and the attribution that we give the darkness around us. So no one can take your light, and all things are light. You can only bury or forget your light. And it is always within your sovereign right as an incarnated being, as any being that's an expression of God or the goddess, the Godhead, all that is, it is always your choice and your right to reclaim your light and to let yourself believe that you deserve to feel that light and you do not deserve punishment. So this is what hell is, the understanding that I was given and my experience, and that I was encouraged to share with you. And there's an opportunity here for us to evolve past the impulse to punish ourselves and to punish others. I know a lot of people who watch my videos are empaths. So I want to address this on a little bit more deep level and offer a caveat here. This is not to say that healthy boundaries are not important, that stepping back from a relationship or a situation to gain perspective, to heal, and to take care of your energy are not incredibly powerful and important things to do. But the same action with different intentions creates different results. So if withdrawing from a situation or from a relationship, taking a step back or asserting boundaries is done so from a place of caring for yourself and healing, then that is a beautiful decision to make. If it is done from a place of looking to punish someone, which is only self-punishment, by the withdrawal of connection, there's a slippery slope that we're walking here. So I want to make sure that that's really clear as well. So I'd love to hear from you guys. If this makes sense, if this resonates with you at all, let me know in the comments below. If you found this video helpful, please like it. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. And I look forward to connecting with you all on the next video. All my love. Goodbye.